Good evening, everyone. Tonight, I would be discussing on very important information, um, particularly for your preparation for the 2025 Environmental Planning Licensure Examination. This is the PRB Environmental Planning Resolution number 03, Series of 2024, entitled Adoption, Issuance, and Promulgation of the Enhanced Table of Specifications, or the TOS, for the subjects in the Environmental Planner's Licensure Examination. This resolution issued by the PRB under the PRC marks a significant development in the evaluation process for environmental planners in the Philippines. It formalizes the enhanced table of specifications, or the TOS, for the EPLE. The resolution reflects the PRBEP's commitment to ensuring that the licensure examination remains relevant, transparent, and aligned with national and global standards. So by revising the TOS, the PRBEP ensures that the examination assesses not just theoretical knowledge, but also practical competencies, okay, and higher order thinking skills required of professional environmental planners. So still, you're just looking at the resolution. Let's go over it one by one. Let me read the first whereas. The vision statement of the PRC is to serve as an instrument for the Filipino people in securing for the nation a reliable, trustworthy, and progressive system of determining the competence of professionals through credible and valid licensure examinations. This clause emphasizes the core mission and vision of the PRC, highlighting its role in um, ensuring professional competence through credible and valid licensure examinations. So there are key concepts in that particular clause. PRC as instrument for the Filipino people. Also, it secures a reliable system, a trustworthy and progressive system of determining the competence of professionals. So reliability there refers to the consistent and dependable application of standards in licensure examinations. So the TOS guarantees that the examination topics, cognitive levels, and question distribution remain consistent, preventing any irregularities or biases. Also, the PRC's vision includes fostering trust in the licensure process. So transparency in the exam content, valuation criteria, and results build confidence among examinees, professionals, and the public. So what does this mean? I mean, this particular clause. An environmental planner who passes the licensure examination is trusted to manage large-scale projects such as um, formulation of the CLUP, because the public believes in the credibility of the PRC's certification process. It is also designed to secure a progressive system of determining competence, because progressiveness implies that PRC continually improves its process to adapt to changing times. So for environmental planners, this means incorporating emerging topics like climate change, adaptation, DRR, smart cities into the examination. So in the past, licensure examinations for planners might not have included GIS. However, with the enhanced TOS, uh, um, tools like GIS are now part of the syllabus, ensuring that planners are equipped to use cutting edge technology. Just a moment. Okay. So let's see. I think in previous examinations, there have been topics like 15 minutes smart city. So if you're familiar with the 15-minute city, is an urban planning concept that aims to create cities where residents can access essential services within a 15-minute walk or bike ride from their homes. So the concept is based on the idea that cities should be compact, eco-friendly, efficient, and many more. So it has several goals. So which may be a part or maybe one of the goals that will be, it may be included in the board exam. So aside from the GIS. And then we can go to the next whereas, which is about section 9H of RA 8981, which is known as the PRC Modernization Act of 2000, that empowers the PRBs to prepare, adopt, and issue the syllabi or TOS of the subjects for examinations and consultation with the academe, determine and prepare the questions for the licensure examinations, which shall strictly be within the scope of the syllabi or TOS of the subjects for examination. This whereas clause draws its authority from RA 8981. So um probably I can make a little breakdown of this such that okay, consultation, it mentioned about, is it consultation? Yeah, just a moment. It says consultation with the academe. All right. So the law mandates consultation with academic institutions to ensure the TOS reflects the learning outcomes of degree programs. This collaboration aligns the exam with what is taught in schools, reducing gaps between academic preparation and professional practice. So what is its significance in environmental planning, this particular clause? Environmental planning degree programs as governed by CHED, MO, CMO, we call that CMO number 60, series of 2017. It focuses on both theoretical foundations and practical skills. So by consulting with the academe, the PRB EP ensures that licensure examinations assess these outcomes, fostering consistency between educational institutions and the professional licensing system. So there are already academic institutions offering BS degree, okay, that may propose adding topics such as green infrastructure or sustainable urban mobility during consultations. So these topics, once incorporated into the TOS, prepare examinees for challenges in sustainable development. Um, so we can go, I think I'm still in section 9H, okay? So the it says determination, okay? Determine and prepare the questions for the licensure examinations which shall strictly be within the scope of the syllabi or POS of the subject's examination. So the PRBs are responsible for preparing exam questions that accurately reflect the scope of syllabi or TOS. Um, so they are the exam questions are based on Bloom's taxonomy, ensuring that questions are distributed across number one, remembering and understanding. And so what do we mean by that? These are basic knowledge recall. And then applying and analyzing means these are practical skills and critical thinking. Okay, skills. And then evaluating and creating. So means higher order thinking and problem solving. So if a question in the environmental planning exam might ask candidates, for example, to analyze the impact of a proposed land use change on an urban watershed. So this type of question assesses the examinee's ability to apply technical knowledge and analyze environmental implications, reflecting the competencies outlined in the TOS. So we can, I think, we can go to the next one, section 15. Okay, if I may read that. Whereas section 15, article 3 of R8 and 587, so known as the Environmental Planning Act of 2013. I hope you're already very familiar with this. It states that all applicants for registration as environmental planner shall be required to undergo a written examination which shall be given by the PRB of environmental planning. So, and then still on RA 10587, it says in the succeeding clause, it says, whereas the topics and subtopics of the subjects in the environmental planner's licensure examination are provided in section 17. So we already have two sections under R8 and 587. Article 3, and board resolution number 3, series of 2014, entitled IRR of 10587, known as the Environmental Planning Act of 2013. So, where's section 15 here? Okay. Okay. So, I just have now a copy of I would like to read section 15 again. So it was exactly what you're seeing here on the resolution, that all applicants for registration for the practice of environmental planning, okay, so shall be required to undergo a written licensure examination, etc. So yeah, this provision ensures that all aspiring environmental planners, regardless of their academic background or professional practice, are tested against a common standard of knowledge, skills, and ethics, by requiring a written examination. The law guarantees that only competent and qualified individuals are guaranteed the privilege to practice. So what's the significance of this particular clause? The written examination evaluates the readiness of applicants to handle the complexities of environmental planning, including areas such as land use planning, DRR, and compliance with environmental laws, among others. So this safeguards public welfare by preventing unqualified individuals from undertaking critical planning responsibilities. what's the role of PRB? Um, they have a very important role. They're tasked with administering the licensure examination. So we already know that, but we are talking about TOS here. So the enhanced TOS provides the detailed structure for the written licensure examination, specifying the scope of topics and aligning them with real-world demands. For instance, topics like urban resilience, CCA, reflect current global challenges and ensure that the exam remains relevant to contemporary issues. Okay. For um the clause that says, okay, after section 15, you can go to the next clause. Whereas the topics and subtopics of the subjects in environmental planner's licensure examination are provided in section 17. Okay, so because it says in the section 17 that the licensure examination for environmental planners shall include, but not limited to, the following subjects. Letter A, history, concepts, theories, and principles of environmental planning. Letter B, environmental planning process, methods or techniques, and strategies. Letter C, environmental plan implementation, legal aspects, and administration, and environmental planning for special areas. So that's section 17 of our of 10587. Okay. Um so these are the core subjects and subtopics of the licensure examination as defined by section 17 and also as captured in the TOS. So if we look over it, if we go over the key subjects, history, concepts, theories, and principles, they cover the foundations of environmental planning, including its evolution, ethical considerations, and the intellectual frameworks that guide professional practice. For for planning processes, methods, and strategies, it focuses on technical competencies such as land use planning, DRR, GIS, and many more. And then for plan implementation, legal aspects, and administration, this subject area examines governance frameworks, legal compliance, and the practical challenges of executing development plans. And for special area planning, it includes site-specific planning for unique environments such as coastal zones, heritage sites, DRR or disaster-prone areas, and many more. So the IRR adopted in Board Resolution number 3, series of 2014, expands on these subjects, breaking them down into subtopics to ensure clarity and depth in the examination's scope. So, um, you have to be very familiar by this time that the IRR serves as a detailed guide for interpreting and implementing the provisions of any law. So in this particular case, our RA number 10587, because it expresses or it provided all the mechanisms in relation to the licensure examination. And the IRR ensures that the examination content, or yeah, it prescribed that examination content should be comprehensive, should be transparent, should be aligned with professional standards, so that that reflects real world competencies required in environmental planning practice. So the next clause there is about issuance. Okay, let me read that. Or as with the issuance of CHED, I think I mentioned already, CHED or the CMO number 60 series of 2017, or the policies, standards, and guidelines for the BSEP program. It's imperative that the EP aligned with the program outcomes and competencies of the cited CMO starting from the year that the first batch of BSEP graduates under the said CHED policies, standards, and guidelines will take the EPLE. So yeah, this highlights the alignment between the examination, the licensure examination, the academic curriculum of the BSEP program as outlined in CMO 60 series of 27. So I think I also explained earlier about that particular CMO because it provides the program outcomes and also the curricular requirements following those key areas or the subject areas as stipulated in 10587. So let's check that. Probably we can go to the next clause, which it says, whereas the TOS shall further include the qualifications level descriptors defined in terms of knowledge, skills, and values application, and degree of independence referred to in Section A 8 of 10968 or the Philippine Qualifications Frameworks Act. So yeah, please remember 10968 because yeah, most likely it will be asked in the 2025 board exam because it's one of the most important aspects that we should be very familiar of, which is the Philippine Qualifications Framework Act. We can call it the PQF. It defines qualification levels in terms of knowledge, skills, values, application, and independence, ensuring consistency in educational and professional standards nationwide. So the PQF, that's how the PQF describes it in relation to this particular resolution. Yeah, I'd like to make some further discussions on the PQF. For example, because the clause mandates the TOS for the EPLE, in that it should incorporate the level descriptors of the PQF. So for environmental planners, this primarily refers to PQF level 6, which corresponds to the competencies of bachelor's degree graduates. So the descriptors focus on number 1, knowledge, skills, and values. So environmental planners must demonstrate a deep understanding of theoretical concepts, technical skills, and ethical principles essential to the profession. For example, knowledge of the zoning laws, which is theory, and then the skills in using GIS, that's the technical aspect, and then values of sustainability and inclusivity is aligned with the professional ethics. So professionals must apply their knowledge and skills to address real world challenges. For example, developing a CLUP for a disaster-prone municipality. So environmental planners are expected to perform tasks independently, demonstrating critical thinking, leadership, responsibility, and among others. So you are expected to lead a team to conduct an environmental impact assessment or the EIA for a large-scale infrastructure project. So, and then we can go to the next, okay, clause, which says, whereas the commission issued resolution number 1049, series of 2017, entitled Prescribing the Adoption and Promulgation of an Outcome-Based Licensure Examination by all professional regulatory boards for the respective professions, which enjoins the professional regulatory boards to update their respective TOS based on the PQF learning descriptors. So, this clause refers to okay, that to 1049 PRC resolution 1049 series of 2017, which mandates the shift from traditional licensure examination to an outcome-based licensure examination across all regulated professions in the Philippines. So the goal is to align the TOS with the PQF to ensure the evaluation of competencies that are relevant to professional practice and societal needs. Okay. Um, some there are okay, because the resolution introduces an outcome-based approach. Just a moment. Okay. Mm-mm. So this resolution, as I mentioned earlier, this resolution introduces an outcome-based approach to licensure examinations, requiring that the exam focus on demonstrable competencies, relevance to practice, alignment with learning descriptors. So, okay. Then I think the next TOS now is, I think, Jen, this is next page. Whereas the TOS shall be the basis for the test items to be encoded into the test questions data bank system. Just a moment. So, so are we there now in that page? This clause emphasizes the central role of TOS in ensuring that the test items for the licensure examination are systematically encoded, categorized, and stored in the test question data bank system. The data bank serves as a repository of validated questions that reflect the competencies outlined in the TOS, ensuring consistency and alignment with the licensure examination framework. So, what are the um what's the purpose of this test questions data bank system? It serves so it serves, or the functions include um as an organized storage, as an efficient question selection, um tool, and then by centralizing and securing test questions, the data bank reduces the risk of leakage or unauthorized access, safeguarding the credibility of the examination process. So, what's the role of the TOS in question encoding? It serves as the blueprint for encoding test items into the data bank. So each question is mapped to a specific topic, subtopic, cognitive level as defined in the TOS. So this establishes that the examination remains aligned with the competencies required of environmental planners. Second, examinees are tested on a well-distributed range of knowledge, skills, and values. So, for example, a question related to urban growth theories. So, we already discussed that, but of course, I will repeat them again for the sake of our new registrants or new enrollees in this class. So we have bid rent theory. For example, that one, it would be encoded under the TOS category of history, concepts, theories, and principles of environmental planning, and tagged with a cognitive level of analyzing as per Bloom's taxonomy. Okay, did you get that? So, uh, the implications of this for the examination process is for the purpose of what? Standardization, for balance distribution, and later I will be showing you the Annex A for this particular resolution that provided that questions selected from the data bank will represent a fair and balanced coverage of the TOS to prevent overemphasis on certain topics while neglecting others. So the data bank system guided by the TOS provides transparency in the question development process, ensuring that all test items are relevant, fair, and aligned with the licensure examination's objectives. So that's how we interpret this resolution. And so the next one is whereas the TOS to be adopted and issued shall incorporate the learning outcomes and competencies as indicated in the sorry, in the profession's perspective CHED, PSGs, articulate the item distribution based on the Bloom's taxonomy, cognitive domains, and the percentage weight. So what do we mean by those words? Okay. So we have the Bloom's taxonomy. So the key concepts there. Okay. That it emphasizes the incorporation of learning outcomes and competencies from the CHED policies, from the standards and guidelines, and the use of Bloom's taxonomy to define cognitive levels and the establishment of percentage weights for various topics. Like, for example, incorporation of CHED PSGs, that the guidelines specify the desired learning outcomes which reflect the knowledge, skills, and values students must acquire during their studies. So by incorporating these outcomes, the TOS ensures that the licensure examination test competencies align with the academic preparation of graduates, so that when a BSEP graduate who studied sustainable land use planning as part of their curriculum would encounter questions on this topic in the licensure examinations. So that's what it means. Then, because it made use of Bloom's taxonomy, cognitive domains. It's by the way, Bloom's taxonomy, again, is a framework that categorizes cognitive skills into 6 hierarchical levels. Number 1, remembering. Number 2, understanding. Okay. Number 3, applying. 4th, analyzing. 5th, evaluating. And 6th, creating. So the DOS specified the distribution of exam items across these levels, ensuring a balanced evaluation of basic knowledge, practical application, and higher order thinking. So I don't need to probably to explain again what's remembering because it's self-explanatory. They're basic concepts. But in the context of planning, for example, remembering. So when you apply all this in the TOS, remembering means there may be some questions that may require you to define key planning concepts like the zoning laws. And then there may be questions like applying, understanding as a hierarchical as a cognitive skill. Like the question may ask you to explain the principles of disaster risk reduction. Okay, and then applying means that probably the question would ask you to use GIS to identify flood-prone areas. Then analyzing, when questions would be formulated to formulated in such a way that the question would ask you to compare, okay, the impacts of urban sprawl on agriculture versus conservation areas. So, and then when you are required to critique a proposed land use plan for a heritage site in a question, so during your board exam, then that's an area about, evaluating as a cognitive skill. And lastly, the creating skill, cognitive skill would mean that it will ask you to design a comprehensive urban development plan that integrates green infrastructure. So perhaps there may be some long sentences there to make up 1 or 2 paragraphs that would ask you how would you be able to design comprehensive urban development plan that should incorporate green infrastructure. So, or an examinee might be asked to analyze the feasibility of a proposed reclamation project in a coastal city. So, testing your ability to critically assess environmental, social, and economic factors. So that's the analyzing level. Okay. So, as to percentage weights, so the TOS also provided percentage weights to each subject or topic area, reflecting its importance in the examination. So, for example, the distribution is environmental planning processes, methods, strategies is 45%. Then history, concepts, and principles of environmental planning is 20. And then plan implementation, legal aspects, and administration is 25%. And then special area development planning is 10%. So percentage weights guide both question developers and examinees by indicating the relative emphasis on each subject. So this would be able to help you understand why you passed or why you failed, and you're able to know where your strengths are and your weaknesses are. Okay, then, all right, we can go to the next TOS that I think I mentioned already about remembering, understanding, applying, analyzing, and then the next clause is whereas the board conducted a public consultation in partnership with various schools offering the BSEP course in compliance. So it means that they did not only they did not proceed with the TOS without consulting partners from relevant sectors like the academe. So yeah, okay. So, creating. Okay, we can go to whereas the board, with the guidance of the PRC consultant for test construction and development, formulated the TOS for implementation in the PPLE. So, yeah, not just PRB that formulated that, but there are some consultants, experts, specialists that formulated the questions. Okay. So next is the last one, I think. So now, therefore, the board resolves as it is hereby resolved to adopt, issue, and promulgate the enhanced TOS for the subjects in the environmental planners marked as Annex X. So I will be showing you later the Annex A. I'm sure you've encountered this particular document already. And so it says, resolve further that this resolution shall apply in the July 2025 environmental planners licensure examination and the subsequent schedules thereof. So it means that it's already due for application in your batch, okay, in 2025, in batch 2025. And what, so it is, okay, due. Okay, if you will see, if you look at the document, it says it was, so the last page there is the date of publication. You can see the stamp. Okay, the stamp document, date of publication in the Business Mirror, June 5. Okay, 5 June 2024. Effective day immediately. So it means that uh there's no, yeah, it's indeed applicable and under the law, isn't it, that under the law, specifically section 18 of the revised administrative code of the Philippines and EO number 200. So a regulation or resolution becomes effective 15 days after its publication in a newspaper of general circulation unless a specific provision in the resolution states otherwise. And in this case, the stamp indicates date of publication is June 5. So the process was already, yeah, they adhere to the process of publication. Okay, and then effective day immediately as is stated in the resolution. If you go back to the resolution on page 2, it says there okay, the second to last paragraph before the date, it's the resolution shall take effect immediately following the completion of its publication in the official gazette or in any newspaper of general circulation in the Philippines. So since the resolution explicitly states that it will take effect immediately following publication, the date of effectivity is June 5, 2004. The same date was published in the Business Mirror, and this is valid under the law because the explicit language of the resolution overrides the default 15-day rule, provided publication was properly completed. So Yeah, I think we can now take out we can now remove from the screen. Okay. This one. So I will continue with the Annex A in a while. So Jen, would you like to just stop the recording first? Okay.